What up, fam? Welcome to Living For You, the YouTube channel. This is a place, a safe space, a spot in which we come together and we show each other love and we show each other appreciation, but we also throw in some life coaching. So in this moment, we are growing and we are coming together. I want to say welcome back to my family, those of you who are out there who have been coming back consistently, those faithful, loyal subscribers. You're more than subscribers, you're a family to me. And I appreciate you. I appreciate working with you. I appreciate interacting with you via email, social media, YouTube, and in other places. I love you. I love you. You're my family. To those of you who are new, if this is your first time ever seeing my face, I am Dr. Larry Smith. I am a certified life spiritual coach and life and spiritual coach. My business is Live For You Coaching. Live For You Coaching started out as a business that was intentionally trying to just add life coaching to the mix. I'm not a therapist, I'm a life coach, and if you want to know more about the differences, I actually have a video on that. But there is a difference. What I try to do is to help my clients through coaching, through questioning, through exercises, through different programs to live more presently. Most of my clients, the majority of my clients that I have, shall I say, have dealt with some kind of trauma or are currently dealing with some kind of trauma. And my goal as a life coach is to help them get to the present place of where that trauma no longer serves them and they realize that and they let it go and they start living the best life that they are required, but not only required, but the life that they deserve to live. So that's the whole point of my coaching at Live For You Coaching. If you want to know more about that, you can go to www.liveforyoucoaching.com. That is www.liveforyoucoaching.com. You can also learn a lot about me and my life story and my history and what path I took to get to where I am now and why I took that path to get to where I am now. So you can find out all about that. And you can also, if you want to, sign up for some coaching with me directly, or you can sign up for one of my programs or courses that I have out there at www.liveforyoucoaching.com. You can also follow me on social media at Dr. Larry Smith on Instagram and on Facebook and on Twitter, and you can just Google it and you can find me there on LinkedIn and a whole bunch of other places. I'm around. Just go ahead and reach out. Feel free to reach out, but make sure while you're here on YouTube, you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so that you know the multiple times a week when I post something, you're here for it and you're in the loop or in the know about whatever it is that is going on with us. So welcome. So today I wanted to take a minute or two to give much respect to all the women that's made a difference in my world. You guys may have known that song that came from Salt and Pepper, but I just kind of flipped it a little bit to be relevant to what I am talking about today. We have, all of us, have come through the channels of having a divine inspiration of a divine feminine entity or a woman in our lives growing up and becoming healthy, whole people. We have all had that experience. And I think now it is very, very relevant because this is Women's History Month and this is Women's Month. This is the month of the woman. There'd be no world if it hadn't been for the female. There'd be no world if there isn't for the women. So I wanted to take time today to give credit where credit due for who we are as people. I know the women of my life, my mother, her spirit and her friends, my aunts, my grandmother, and some of my closest friends are women. One of my closest friends in the world, she's kind of like my best friend, my best female friend. She is a woman who's nearly 80 years old, and we talk every week, and we talk twice a week most weeks, and we talk 3 hours every time we speak. And so we have very good conversations because we get each other. I call her my sister mama because I created that because I see her as kind of like an older sister, a sister I can talk about things with, I can disclose secrets with, I can share my life and my experience and my heart with. But I also respect the fact that she is my mother in a sense of this idea of she's more wiser than I am on certain things. She is definitely so, and I say certain things because I know she's watching. Hey, sister mama, I love you. And so I know that she's going to see this, and she tells me all the time that she gets things from me just as much as I get things from her. So I'm grateful No, I'm blessed and I'm immaculately blessed to have a relationship with a divine feminine energy in my life that I can really, really relate to and that I can really communicate with, because it only helps me to get better. I know a lot of times growing up, boys, men, us, we are taught to be extra masculine. We're taught to hide our emotions. We're taught to be everything in many ways that is anti-feminine. One of my favorite people to watch is The Conscious League. Go ahead and look him up on Instagram. He's somebody you'll want to follow because he's a thought-provoking thinker who is also one who's very outspoken and expressing really a lot of powerful things for marginalized people. That includes LGBTQ, that includes trans, that includes women, that includes people of color. He's a very powerful person. So The Conscious League, I'm gonna give him a shout out here. Go and follow him on Instagram or follow him on TikTok. He's all over the place as well. But I find the conversation he was having the other day was about the value of women and the importance of women. But he likes to hit men sometimes on the head and say, hey, the misogyny and the toxic masculinity that's out there needs to stop across the board. And I agree 100% that we're inbred, we're raised, we're embedded into ourselves as we grow up in this society as men, as masculinity, as the divine masculine, in whatever form we're in manhood. And we're taught to behave in a certain way that is really counterproductive to creativity. Because according to my beliefs, my spiritual beliefs, my personal beliefs, on a deeper level, I believe that female energy is the creative energy. When I look at nature, when I look at the trees and the birds and the air and the the different weather patterns, and I look at all of the flowers and the animals and all of this stuff, I am thinking of a female creator. And I know some of you guys grew up in the church. I did too. I know some of you guys know old religious beliefs that it's come down through Christianity, through patriarchy, and we say God is the man. I don't really see God as having any gender. I see God as kind of a genderless being that creates. But I do believe that the energies of female and masculinity are present. So I believe the creation energy to be a female energy. And so when I think of creation, when I think of the things that are put together for our benefit and for our pleasure on this planet, or for our sustainability to be able to live on this planet, I rather lean toward it being a feminine energy. And so for me, being a man, I think it is quite restrictive to our creativity. I think it's quite restrictive to our divine selves for us to totally try to block out any shred of any feminine energy that resides within us. Yes, I said it. Everyone, and I do mean everyone, man, woman, and child, trans man, trans woman, everyone, gay, straight, whomever, have feminine energy within themselves. But as men, we are taught quickly to suppress that in order to not appear to be wrong, or whatever the psychology or psychosis or sociology behind why we are behaving the way we behaved in these social constructs. At the end of the day, that is, the female energy is your creative energy. It is your creative energy, your creative flow. It is what helps you to come up with things that in your regular energy of masculinity as a man, you wouldn't come up with. Because it's a different side of the brain. It's a different level of thinking. You've all seen the books, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Mars, Men Are From Venus, or Women Are From Venus, Men Are From Mars. You remember the book. And you all know of the ideas that they say men and women think differently. Men have a thinking pattern, women have a thinking pattern. It's really just feminine and masculine energy. We all have the ability to share all of those energies, but you have to be able to be a holistic, healthy-minded person, healthy spiritual person who is able to gravitate and also translate and use those energies to your benefit. When I get on this camera, every week, the multiple times I get on this camera, I'm really displaying feminine energy out there, because the communication, the ability to articulate myself, the ability to facilitate the conversation that I'm having in a nurturing and inviting way where I don't come across as like I'm controlling you, or I come across I'm like, welcome, sit in, we're family. That's a feminine energy, and I accept that. Because that makes people gravitate. That makes people feel secure. When you think of security, you think of your mother. You think of her holding you and rocking you and loving you and nurturing you. The first scent that you get usually is your mother. If your mother breastfed you, you get that. And you get all of this interconnection, interwoven, interworking things from mama. Why is that? That's because mama is the security. And so if we're able to hone that type of energy, we can change the world. One thing that I would note, like for example, when I think of like world leaders, when I thought about Barack Obama, I thought he was someone who was able to kind of hone in that protective, that nurturing feminine energy. And he wasn't a gay man. He wasn't bi, he was a heterosexual man. But it's not about sexuality. It's on a deeper level, a spiritual level, a cosmical level than just biology. Biology is just one of the basic levels. It's what you can see, it's what you can touch, it's tangible. But there's so much operating in the universe that you cannot see. And those energies operate in a masculine, feminine, and bi-gendered or bi-energetic way. And so for Women's Month, I think it's important for us to highlight that aspect of ourselves. When you think about the people who carried you through, most of us can think about a woman, even if it's some woman that you're in a relationship with, because some of my clients, you're in a relationship with women. Some of you can think of it as a man who showed up in your lives with feminine energy that you may have been in a relationship with. Or it may be a sibling, a sister, or a coworker, or someone, a teacher who came into your life and nurtured you through the moment they nurtured you through with that feminine energy. What I'm saying is we all can have that. We all should have that. We should all find a way to connect to our spiritual femininity. We should all find a way to connect to that level of our consciousness, that creative, that loving, that nurturing, that warm, that I see it when I see the colors in it as I'm speaking. I'm actually seeing red. And I'm not seeing red because I'm wearing red. That just actually, that I would assume that's a spiritual move because it's just connected. But red is one of warmth and genteel and soft, right? And it makes you feel comfortable when you see it. It glows. It's powerful. It's like the flames. And when I think of that, I think of women energy. I think of the phoenix. I think of the woman, And so for me, that's a very powerful, palpable energy. That is Aries, Sagittarius, Scorpio energy, which is all nurturing energy, by the way. It's all very powerful. There's a powerful nurturing impact of that energy. And so I think it's important for us to be able to tap into that. And it just so happens that my Venus sign is Aries. And so when it comes to loving, I do tend to love in a passionate, kind of genteel, but soft yet aggressive way. A very what I would think is a very feminine way in many ways. Sometimes my heart leads me to disaster when I was younger, and I had to figure that out as I grew up. Nevertheless, I learned to not be afraid of that energy. I learned that as I grew up as a male child, I was taught so many things that wanted me to suppress those things. They wanted me to suppress that energy and to show up a certain way and to be a boy. Boys don't show emotions. Boys don't cry. Boys don't do any of those things. And then when I realized, as I started to meditate and pray and take the therapy that I was taking and grow up, I realized that boys might not cry, but men may need to. Okay? Boys might not show emotions, but men may need to. Boys may try to hold in everything they're feeling, but men may need to express exactly what they're feeling in order to get what they're trying to get accomplished. That's just life. It is what it is. And so once I came to that realization, I started to get more in touch with that feminine energy within myself, and I started to allow myself to simply be. And life got more comfortable. I was able to breathe easier because I wasn't restricting the passage of being from within myself. I was just showing up. And so in this month, Women's History Month, as we study the great accomplishments and contributions to the world that women have done. We have a woman vice president, dope. Black woman vice president, dope. We have We have women entrepreneurs. We have women movers and shakers who are changing the landscape politically and socially, like Stacey Abrams. We got all of these great mind thinkers and great businesswomen like Oprah. We have the Michelle Obamas. We have the, all of the great women of the past, the Maya Angelou's and the Cicely Tysons and the Viola Davises of today. And we have the Angela Davis. Y'all know I love Angela Davis and Kathleen Cleaver. We have all of these great minds that come from the feminine energy and or show up as the feminine presence on the planet that is very useful to who we are. So as we celebrate all of those, my men, this is directly to us here. Do not be afraid to allow your feminine flag to flow. Do not be afraid to let the feminine energy that resides in every single human being come out. Because if more people, especially men, begin to allow that to creep out, the world will become a better place. I've always said we needed a woman president. I've always said women can rule the world, and we'll do it fantastically because it's going to come from a different perspective. It's going to come from a new place. It's going to move from being all up in here, in the crown chakra, and move down into the heart and into the chest chakra. Move all out of the Capricorn and, and all of that Scorpionic energy and all that Capricorn and Sagittarian energy that's up here, and really start to move down into the Aquarius energy and some of that Piscean energy and begin to really open things up to a heartfelt place. We're moving. I feel like the whole universe is moving into that energy. That's why we're seeing more of the female presence coming up. And so I'm excited because I know we're going to connect on a deeper level in that energy, a level we haven't seen in a millennium, right? So we're moving and we're moving and we're moving. And I think in order for you to get part of that and to be part of that move, you have to allow your female energy, your feminine energy, to connect to the universe, and you flow with what's happening. Because if you try to restrict it, or if you try to combat it, or if you try to block it, then you're going to have a tough time dealing with this change that we got going on. Anyway, I just wanted to get on and celebrate the women, give much respect to the women in my life. And my mom, I miss her. My sister, I miss her. She's present, but she's, there are complications. And all of the other women, my mom's friends and my nieces and my aunties and my cousins who are women and my friends and co-workers who are women and all of these women around me, I am so thankful for you. Because you give me something I can't naturally show socially, but you're allowing me to experience such enough of it that I can be comfortable in owning it within myself. And men, we got to own within ourselves. Let your female flag fly, or your feminine flag fly this month, and see what it's like to totally live from a place of here and not just a place of here. Like I always say, I love you, and I will see you all in the next video.